Movie summary, Castle in the Sky, 1986. The passenger airship Saturn moves swiftly through the clouds, carrying Sheeta, who possesses an unusual blue stone necklace, and Colonel Muska, a secret government agent who has kidnapped Sheeta and taken her necklace. Suddenly, air pirates, headed by Dola, assault the airship in pursuit of Sheeta and her blue stone necklace. During the exchange of gunfires, Sheeta successfully knocks Muska out and recovers her blue stone necklace. Sheeta hides herself by climbing outside and holding onto the aircraft's exterior. The pirates then force their way into her room. Sheeta loses her hold and falls into the dark sky below. As the unconscious Sheeta descends rapidly toward the ground, the blue stone necklace radiates a mysterious light, substantially reducing her speed of descent. From the small mining community of Slag Ravine, a young orphan miner named Patsu observes a faint light descending from the sky. He races toward the light to explore, only to find that its source is the blue stone necklace that Sheeta is wearing, whom Patsu reaches out to catch. To his amazement, she feels weightless until her blue stone necklace deactivates. The next morning, Patsu wakes up and plays his trumpet. Sheeta awakens to the sound of Patsu playing his trumpet on the roof. Sheeta climbs up the ladder to see where the sound is coming. Together, they feed Patsu's birds. After they feed the birds, Patsu asks to see Sheeta's stone. Believing that her necklace is the cause of her survival from the fall, he tries to float himself using it, only to crash down. Sheeta notices a photograph of Laputa on a wall in his home. Patsu explains that it was taken by his father from his airship. Patsu plans to finish a huge ornithopter so that he can travel to Laputa and confirm his father's sighting. The air pirates approach Patsu's residence. Patsu disguises Sheeta as a male miner and, after barely evading an encounter with Lewis, guides Sheeta into town to seek assistance. Sheeta trips and drops her hat, exposing her real identity. Okami, Mr. Duffy's wife, instructs Patsu and Sheeta to escape through their backyard. Dola, using her telescope, sees Patsu and Sheeta headed to the railway track. Patsu and Sheeta board a moving mine train. Dola and her henchmen chase the train. Two henchmen attack them, but Sheeta throws a shovel on the henchmen. The train stops because there is an army armored vehicle moving towards them. Two men come out of the army armored vehicle. Realizing that they are Muska's men, Sheeta runs. Then Patsu followed Sheeta. The two fall into a mine shaft. Sheeta's blue stone necklace glows. The two float in the air and lands gently. The two sit down and eat, with apple and some candies as their dessert. Sheeta says that she comes from Gondoa. When her parents died, she is all alone. One day, some men came and took her away. Sheeta apologizes for forcing Patsu to get involved in the situation. Patsu comforts her and explains that he would never miss such an exciting adventure for anything in the world. The two are then approached by an enigmatic figure, who is revealed to be Uncle Palm. Sheeta inquires of Uncle Palm whether he experiences loneliness in the underground. Palm responds that the rocks are his companions and frequently communicate with him. Uncle Palm demonstrates that, in the absence of light, the surrounding rocks gain consciousness, illuminated by the energy of an ancient element referred to as Etherium. Sheeta observes that her blue stone necklace is shining concurrently with the rocks. Uncle Palm discloses that only the ancient Laputian civilization had the knowledge to fabricate such crystals. Patsu and Sheeta thanked Uncle Palm before leaving. Sheeta informs Patsu that her family has been the royal family of Laputa for many generations. When she received her Etherium necklace from her predecessor, she was given her complete name, Sheeta Tolo Laputa. Muska's men capture the two children. Muska guides Sheeta to a chamber where an inactive robot soldier rests. Muska then describes how the robot descended from the sky, losing its foot and part of its arm during the fall to the ground. Consequently, Muska has been designated as the head of a discovery expedition aimed at exploring the kingdom and its riches. Colonel Muska shows Sheeta that the marking on her blue stone necklace match those engraved on the robot's body, and asserts that this crystal, when activated, will guide him to Laputa. Muska reveals that he is aware of her full name and her position in the Laputian royal family, but first threatens that Patsu's fate depends on her choices. In order to protect the young boy Patsu, the young girl Sheeta caves in and tells Patsu to forget about their search for Laputa and return home. Sheeta receives back the blue stone necklace and is advised by Muska to contemplate the incantation that will activate the blue stone necklace if she wishes to obtain her freedom. Upon reaching home, one of Dola's sons ties him to his own house. When they learn that the air destroyer Goliath intends to take Sheeta, Patsu requests Dola to allow him to join her squadron to rescue Sheeta. Dola agrees and unties the rope on Patsu. Sheeta numbly recites a spell of protection that her grandmother once taught her, with the instruction to employ it solely in times of distress. The blue stone activates and makes the dead robot come into life. The now awakened robot turns aggressive and escapes from its confinement, as it is designed to safeguard Sheeta from all dangers. As Sheeta escapes from the devastation being generated, the robot trails her while it forcibly climbs the tiers of teddies. At the top of the tower, the blue stone emits a beam of light that points towards the sky, towards Laputa. The awakened robot comes near to Sheeta. A shell fired from the base's anti-tank turrets hits the robot, deactivating the robot. Patsu and Dola save Sheeta from the burning tower. Colonel Muska finds Sheeta's blue stone on the ground near the tower, still pointing to Laputa. Colonel Muska sends a message to the general that they will be departing on the scheduled time. Meanwhile, Patsu and Sheeta join Captain Dolo's team. They are going to Laputa. Patsu goes to work in the aircraft's engine bay while Sheeta, after given a new outfit, is put to work cooking and cleaning in the galley. Captain Dola and her husband are playing chess. He remarks that it's not usual for her to challenge a ship like Goliath. He says the kids are cute, and the little girl reminds him of Dola long ago. That night, while Patsu was stationed in the crow's nest keeping watch, Sheeta approaches him to talk. She admits to the boy that she never wanted to go to Laputa, and that she fears someone else might die for her, as the robot did back at Teddy's. After a long discussion, the two notice the outline of the Goliath in the clouds below the tiger moth. Patsu goes to alert the crew, and the aircraft plunges into the dense clouds to avoid being seen. Patsu and Sheeta transform the crow's nest into a large kite and detach it from the ship with the intention of guiding it to Laputa. Sheeta and Patsu are drawn further into the storm. While attempting to regain control of the makeshift aircraft, Patsu suddenly sees a vision of his father. With his guidance, he regains control and navigates the kite through the heart of the hurricane and into much calmer skies. Sometime later, both children wake up to discover that they have reached and landed securely on none other than Laputa. A giant robot comes, picks up their kite and moves it away because there is a bird's nest underneath. The birds then go to the nest. The giant robot guides the two kids to a large grave plaque in the central gardens, where they find hundreds of other robots, all of which have long ceased functioning and become intertwined in the roots of a massive tree. An explosion underground shakes the ground and disturbs the birds. Patsu and Sheeta rush to find that Goliath has docked on Laputa. They find that Captain Dola and the pirates have also been captured. Patsu tells Sheeta that they must find the blue stone necklace, it is the only way to protect the garden. Sheeta is captured and taken by Colonel Muska to the inner chambers of the island. Patsu, slightly hurt but still alive, successfully frees all the pirates. Captain Dola provides him with a cannon and 2 extra shells to aid in rescuing Sheeta. Muska and Sheeta arrive at the control center of Laputa, which houses a large octahedral etherium crystal that supports the entire island in the air. Sheeta inquires about Muska's true identity. Muska discloses his real name, Ramska Paloo Laputa, thereby revealing his role in the Laputian lineage as well. Muska opens the control room floor, causing General Muro and his men to plummet to their deaths. He then releases the hundreds of robotic soldiers against the remaining troops. The military quickly retreats to the Goliath in fear, but the advancing robots use their lasers to damage the airship's hull. The Goliath ignites and explodes from the attacking robots, killing all personnel inside, while Muska watches gleefully. Sheeta gets loose, grabs the blue stone then runs. Sheeta passes the blue stone through a hole in the wall and tells Patsu to throw it into the ocean. Patsu uses his cannon to enlarge the hole so he can crawl through. Sheeta reaches the throne room, but is cornered by Colonel. Sheeta explains to Muska her understanding of why the Laputian people vanished. They lost contact with the Earth from which they came, relying on their technology to rule rather than love humanity or the Earth. Patsu arrives and tells Colonel Muska that he can have the blue stone if he can talk to Sheeta. Patsu requests Sheeta to teach him the spell of destruction so they can recite it together, and comforts her by stating that Dola and her pirates have escaped and are safely out of harm's way. Sheeta softly conveys the spell to him. Patsu tosses his cannon aside and they say the spell together, causing the crystal to emit a dazzling light. This not only blinds Muska but also liberates the Ethereum crystal supporting Laputa from its constraints. The entire lower section of Laputa disintegrates and falls away from the tree, mainly its man-made sections. This also takes Muska along with it, along with all the chaotic robots, which become inactive and fall apart as they plunge into the ocean below. What remains of Laputa is the magnificent central tree, its extensive roots now exposed, along with its gardens and a portion of its structures. Dola and the pirates, observing the devastation on their flapters, believe that Patsu and Sheeta have perished and begin to mourn. As Laputa rises, however, Lewis sees that the large Ethereum crystal still glows through the roots of the great tree, suggesting that Sheeta is somehow still alive. Indeed, the children are found to have survived. They locate their kite and reunite with the crew. A festive celebration follows, during which the pirates reveal that they were able to pillage some of Laputa's treasure after all. The children say their goodbyes and make their way home. As they glance back at Laputa's gardens, they observe that the gardener robot and the animals, including the fox squirrels, have also escaped the destruction. The robot is seen walking, plants and animals in hand, amongst the gardens peacefully. When they part with Dola's pirates, Patsu flies Sheeta home as he had promised her, to start a new life in Gondoa together. As the tale concludes, Laputa is seen floating majestically in the sky, far from Earth.